President Bongbong Marcos orders the Energy Regulatory Commission to reset the rates of the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines. In a video message posted on Facebook, the President directed the ERC to complete the reset of NGCP's rates without further delay and to ensure their compliance with its regulatory obligations.
I have also directed the ERC to complete the reset of NGCP's rates without further delay, to ensure NGCP's compliance with its statutory and regulatory obligations, and to defend in no uncertain terms against any attempt to defer, delay, or prevent the implementation of regulatory measures.
Marcos says the loss of electricity in Western Visayas since January 2 caused difficulty to residents and businesses. The President further says NGCP failed to resort to manual load dropping, resulting in the crisis that Filipinos in affected areas are now facing.
Regrettably, during this period, NGCP failed to resort to manual load dropping, resulting in the crisis that we are facing now. This is not the first time that such a blackout has occurred.
Marcos adds accountability lies with NGCP and have failed to do their duty, which is to ensure stability and being proactive in response to breakdowns and unexpected events.
Accountability lies with the NGCP. They are tasked with grid stability. Stability involves proactive responses to breakdowns and unexpected events, a duty that NGCP unfortunately has not fulfilled adequately.
The President promises to resolve the situation and to prevent such incidents to occur in the future. Police say they arrested a 42-year-old man for allegedly making a bomb joke inside Quiapo Church on Friday. Philippine National Police says the man made a joke at 5:30 a.m. inside the iconic church in Manila, adding that there was a witness to the incident. PD 1727 declares as unlawful the malicious dissemination of false information or the willful making of any threat concerning bombs, explosives, or any similar destruction and imposing penalties thereof. Under that law, violators may be penalized for not more than 5 years in prison and a fine of up to 40,000 pesos upon the court's discretion. The incident happened days ahead of the January 9 Traslacion for the Feast of the Black Nazarene, which culminates in the Quiapo Church. The religious procession draws thousands of devotees every year. Quiapo Church officials remind the public on certain acts that should be avoided during the Traslacion procession on the Feast of the Black Nazarene. Devotees are reminded to avoid pushing and refrain from carrying numerous items or large bags. Devotees may only use transparent bags and containers for easier inspection. Wearing of hats, umbrellas, and hoodies is strictly prohibited, and setting up camping tents, especially for those staying overnight, is also not allowed. Climbing onto the Black Nazarene's andas or the carriage carrying the statue is prohibited in this year's procession. However, the use of handkerchief to wipe the Black Nazarene image is still allowed, as well as the carrying of crossbeam and pulling its rope. Staff from Quiapo Church will be stationed at the andas to stop people from climbing in. The Quiapo Church revealed a new design to the Nazarenos andas with the statue itself enclosed in a thick tempered glass. Devotees are also encouraged to practice minimum health protocols by wearing face masks and maintaining physical distancing amid rising cases of COVID-19, especially during masses. Nazareno 2024 advisor Alex Irasga says Quiapo Church will try to maintain a limit of 750 individuals inside the basilica and 3,000 individuals in the church's outside grounds. The Department of Agriculture is not expecting a decrease in the price of rice anytime soon. In an interview on Thursday, DA spokesperson Arnel de Mesa said they are not expecting a significant decrease in the price of rice since prices in the global market remained high at about $600 per metric ton. The spokesperson said they are hoping to source rice from abroad at cheaper prices because imports from Vietnam and Thailand are quite expensive. He added that the DA is monitoring the situation and are already exerting efforts to ensure sufficient supply that can tide the country over in view of the El Niño phenomenon. The DA official also said they're waiting for rice to be harvested between March and April, adding that the upcoming harvest and arrival of fresh imports should temper price spikes. As of Thursday, January 4, public markets in Metro Manila are selling local regular milled rice from 50 pesos to 53 pesos per kilo, which is higher than the previous range of 38 pesos to 44 pesos per kilo. Locally produced well-milled rice is at 40 pesos to 55 pesos per kilo, which is also higher than the previous range of 38 pesos to 44 pesos per kilo. Imported well-milled rice ranged from 51 pesos to 56 pesos per kilo compared to 40 pesos to 44 pesos per kilo last year. Imported regular milled rice is currently not available in the metropolis but was sold from 37 pesos to 38 pesos per kilo from last year. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board says the decision on where to buy modern public utility vehicles is up to operators and drivers. LTFRB Technical Division Chief Joel Bolanos says the agency has no say where PUV corporations and cooperatives must purchase their modernized units under the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program.
Yung pagbili po ng sasakyan ng ating mga transport service entities ay wala pong mandato doon ang DOTR at LTFRB. Ang role lang po ng government is to provide the Philippine National Standard. Yung pagpili po ay nasa transport service entity, kung saan po sila bibili, anong klase po bibili nila.
Bolanos' statement comes after Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Pimentel III called for the Department of Transportation to name the contractors who will provide up-to-date PUVs under the scheme. Meanwhile, LTFRB says more than 70% of public utility vehicles nationwide have consolidated under the PUV modernization program. According to LTFRB Officer in Charge Riza Paches, 76% or 145,721 jeepneys, UV Express, buses, and minibuses have been consolidated based on their data as of January 5. Meanwhile, in the National Capital Region alone, the officials said that 52.54% or 26,055 PUJs and UV Express have complied with the consolidation requirement of the PUV modernization program. The Vatican defends the Catholic Church's recent approval of blessings for same-sex couples, denying it had strayed from doctrine while urging prudence in certain countries. This after an outcry by certain bishops, particularly in Africa, over its recent declaration authorizing priests to bless irregular and same-sex couples under certain circumstances. In a 5-page statement by the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith, the Vatican stood by its recent document, saying it was clear and definitive about marriage and sexuality. It adds that there is no room for bishops to distance themselves doctrinally from the declaration about the blessings or to consider it heretical, contrary to the tradition of the Church, or blasphemous. The Dicastery also urges prudence, saying that in certain circumstances, the blessing of same-sex couples would be inappropriate, particularly in countries with laws that condemn the mere act of declaring oneself as a homosexual.
Hindi na masusubaybayan sa teleseryeng FPJ's Batang Quiapo ang aktres na si Lovie Poe. Winakasan na kasi ang kanyang karakter bilang si Mokang, ang greatest love ni Tanggol na ginagampanan ni Coco Martin. Sa huling episode ni Lovie, mapapanood na nabaril siya sa sentido matapos saluhin ng bala na dapat sana kay Tanggol. Sa Instagram, tuluyan na ngang namaalam ang aktres. Sinabi niya na isang blessing ang maging parte sa proyekto na nagbibigay pugay sa namayapa niyang ama na si Fernando Poe Jr. Isang karangalan din daw ang maging si Mokang dahil dito niya natutunan ang maging malaya. Pinasalamatan din ni Lovie ang lahat ng nakatrabaho niya sa Batang Quiapo at mamimiss niya raw ang mga nabuong memories. Mahirap anya ang desisyon na umalis sa nasabing show pero kailangan na raw niyang tahakin ang panibagong journey niya sa buhay. Ito po si Pauline Del Rosario at yan ang Bandera Chika natin for today.